The principles learned in this technique are going to be a few different categories. First, we'll talk about the simultaneous counter strike. Secondly, we'll talk about controlling the head. And finally, we'll talk about body manipulation. So we're talking about simultaneous counter strikes, and all that means is that I'm literally doing my block and my strike at the same time, okay? Now this is a bit more of a beginner technique, so it's okay to break these apart at first, right? So what I mean by that is he punches, I do my block, I move, and I hit, right? So I have that little bit of stagger until I'm comfortable with it. But as you get comfortable with it, what you want to try and do is move that foot as he's coming in. I'm hinging to the inside, right? Now notice the rotation of the body as I do that. It's naturally facilitating that strike to come out immediately. If I go inside and do my block and I wait, I've already lost that rotational momentum that I started developing, and that way I have to start a whole new momentum with my strike, okay? So the goal here is to get everything to flow in one motion, and I'm putting these together as I go. So he comes in and I'm moving and striking immediately. All right, for controlling the head, let's get to that point. So I'm coming here. This is an important point here. Controlling the head, where the head goes, the body goes, right? So when I get to this position, I can use him to block another opponent or something like that. I can move him around very easily because I'm controlling where his head is, right? Now what I'm doing to make it easier for me is using the leverage of his arm, right? If I'm just controlling his head, I can move him around, but he's got a lot more fight to him. By using this arm simultaneously with the control on the back of the neck, I get a lot more leverage. And we want to use leverage versus power, right? So leverage and pain are two factors that help make things a lot easier when we're trying to use our defense techniques, especially against someone who's bigger than us. For body manipulation, this mostly comes after we get to the controlling position. So let's get there. We're here, come underneath. Now, when I'm in this position, I do my knee, right? This is to loosen him up to make it easier for the takedown, okay? And we showed a few different options on this takedown. When I go straight down, you'll notice he drives towards the ground, but he starts rolling. But we're basically in the same general space that we were to begin with, okay? And then I can do my finishing strikes from there. But let's pop it up. If I'm in that position, okay, let's just get to it. So I'm in this position, and say I've got another attacker coming from one of these angles out here. When we use this kick to the inside of the knee option, where I pull back here, I actually create more space for myself in pulling him away. And notice now I'm still on my feet rather than dropping to a knee. So I've got my strike here effectively. I can strike to additional targets on him, but I'm up and I've got my eyes able to survey other possible opponents, okay? And then the final thing, from that same position again, we get in here, you'll notice I could just step through with this leg. So I could knee and then I can come forward, and you notice how his body gets manipulated here, okay? So he's twisted in this direction, and maybe there's someone coming from behind me. So now all I have to do is pull back on this arm. I'll take a little step back and I could throw him this way and escape out in this direction.